Hello, my name is Samantha, and tonight my mom and I are watching Season 4, Episode 6 of Roswell, New Mexico. If you'd like to watch more of our Roswell videos, I will have playlists for Seasons 2, 3, and 4 linked in the description. We start each of our reaction videos with a discussion portion where we ask questions about last week's episode, discuss theories about this week's episode, but if you want to skip right ahead to the reaction, it starts at this timestamp here. But we are going to start, as usual, with our discussion. So, first off, small point, still not even a mention of Rosa. I just want someone to mention her.
Well, and we're on episode 6.
Yeah, come on.
So, are we going to hear
She's still,
from
like,
her?
on the show, I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh, I got a letter from her.
Right.
You know, would be nice.
It'd be nice, just saying. All right. So we have been very curious about this whole Teska shapeshifter who is who situation. And we were wondering last week whether Bonnie and Clyde know that Teska is a shapeshifter. But I'm thinking now they have to know. Because if she looks like, I think it's Sonia. No, if Teska looks like Sonia Valenti, they know that Teska doesn't look like that. So they know that Teska is a shapeshifter. Speaking of Teska, why did she steal Jones's body from Deep Sky? If she really did just burn him up in the desert, why steal his body? And what was the thing she did with the blood on his chest? If that is not going to be anything, why did they take his body?
That part is so confusing.
Do you think Jones has actually been burned up? It could go either way.
It could go either way because.
But
I
I'm
don't
saying
think
no.
Max stood there and watched until his body was ash.
Because, like, I can understand. Okay, Jones, who, under normal circumstances with normal flame, is not burned by flame, like Michael is not. Maybe this blue flame is capable of doing that. But we saw Max hold the flame in his hands. It didn't hurt him. So why would it now hurt Jones's body? I think Jones is still solid. I don't think he's ashes. We'll see.
He's solid, and my guess is that.
Do you think he'll wake up?
Yes.
Okay. I'm erring toward no on that. You're erring toward yes.
Yes.
Okay. Also, speaking of Teska, I was thinking about the signs of a struggle that we saw at the Valenti house in Mexico. And so it seems now that resulted from, I think her name is Sonia. Sonia and Teska having their confrontation. Teska overpowers her, puts her into the pod. I think that's what caused all of that. Which, honestly, good on Sonia Valenti. She took on a very powerful alien long enough to trash that entire room. So, good for her. But then, I was like, so that was 6 months ago. No one has been in that house for 6 months. No one has looked for Sonia for 6 months? Now, I get that the family is probably quite secretive, but I looked it up. Correas, very small town. Population of, I want to say less than 100. I'll put it here.
Except that I'm thinking
because it's basically entirely
place.
Exactly.
And
it is. The town is basically entirely a vacation spot. But Sonia knows Allie, and seeing who is in Correas, and seeing as this is such a very small town, we see at the end of season 3, Allie, who looks like she's maybe been drinking a little bit, see who she thinks is Sonia pop up out of nowhere, naked, saying the name of her former student. And she's like, this, and then says to the woman, like, that's not Liz Orteco. How do you know? That's not Liz Orteco. She was a former student of mine. How do you know who Liz Orteco is? they've met before, right? Like, it can't be that they've just, like, corresponded by email. Like, no. There's 100 people in this town. They've met. And now, maybe I don't know how much of this they had planned out at the time when they were finishing season 3. So I'm willing to let some things slide. But, like, she doesn't mention at all, like, oh, I know who that's Sonia. I know her. But why is she acting so weird? Why is she naked? That's not mentioned. Now, honestly, and again, to be fair, I'm sure that scene continued after, what we saw of it.
Right.
Still. I'm wanting to see Allie. I have a theory for how everyone finds out that something's wrong with Alex. And my theory is that, okay, so Michael has just passed out. Dallas is going to reach out to everyone. They are going to call Alex. They're going to text Alex, telling him what has happened to Michael, regardless of what. I mean, they don't know immediately what it is, but someone's going to tell Alex, I would highly presume. And no one is going to hear back from Alex. And I think they're going to think that is suspicious, which would lead them to believe that something is wrong with Alex.
Yeah, we have to hear something.
Come on.
Come on. We've got to hear something this episode.
Yes. I do have a theory of what might have happened to Michael, though. Because we were really trying to figure out how that star map thing could have done this. I have a different idea. What if Michael passed out because Teska was pulling him into her mindscape? Because Max passed out when she pulled Max into the mindscape. So maybe that's what happened. What do you think about that? It happened more quickly with Max, but he did pass out. So maybe. Maybe. You're not too sure, but maybe.
No.
If that is what happened, does that mean that Bonnie and Clyde have told Teska who Michael really is? Because if Teska knew who Michael really is as Jones's son, she would be very interested in him.
Correct, and she hasn't sought him.
But that presumes that Bonnie and Clyde have not told her yet, because they did not know. Now maybe Teska knew from before. So if it is the case that Michael passed out because Teska was pulling him into the mindscape, could that be because she now knows who he is? Which is both less concerning because he's not sick, he'll be okay in a minute. More concerning because maybe she knows he's Jones's son.
Right.
So, good news, bad news. But hopefully it will lead to someone figuring out anything about Mr. Alex Maines. All right, then let's get started. That looked like, okay, this is the next day, so we're not picking up immediately where we left off, like we had kind of assumed.
I don't understand how to control this power or what.
It's cute that they don't have shoes on. They're just barefoot together.
I noticed that.
That's cute.
It's Maria. She says Michael is sick.
We don't get sick.
108. Aliens usually run at 1.
Oh. Okay. So Dallas only called Maria? And then they waited overnight?
He has multiple strands of the flu, strep, and the common cold. They all at once. It's like he said.
Okay, so I was totally wrong, first. Second, he's sick? He's sick. How did that happen? I don't think it's the star map. Now would be a good time to call Alex. Anyone at all. Whoa, okay. More than a kiss.
Good morning.
Did I just ruin our friendship?
No, of course not. I mean, we both knew what this was, right?
I hate this.
they've got to get through this.
I know. What?
And I'm naked.
Yeah. She knew that.
Last night was just a one-time thing.
Well, technically 2 times for some of us, but message received.
Come on.
An escape hatch.
God, just be honest.
I was afraid if I called, you'd tell me not to come.
He has brown
You're right.
eyes.
I deserve that.
And he's not been injected with what Jenna was injected with yet. Now, unless Eduardo checked in with them before going to Mexico.
I think that we
That's
would have
his
seen
Dantesca.
that. Or heard, like, oh,
I
a
would
line
hope
in
so.
passing. This worries me.
Yeah. He also has not mentioned that his daughter now has blue eyes, which, I mean, maybe he'll get to it, but...
All I know is that the alighting is already in motion.
Okay. We kind of knew that.
The lighting. How do you know that word?
Teska keeps saying it. I was hoping you knew what it meant.
Oh my
Well,
God.
you said it once. Liz and I are not puzzle pieces.
No, I think that you're somehow the glue that holds them together.
So what are the pieces? Because they had the vials, which they, dumped on the ground. They had the crystals, which is the sky map. So what are the other pieces that he is supposed to be holding together? Or that his powers are capable of holding together? And for
that
what?
He needs her. Why?
True. What kind of science that I'm assuming gets them home that they need Liz for?
Yeah.
Because obviously...
It's something to do with her science.
Yeah, but like, if they want to go home, there's no way that Liz, as a human, should be necessary to that.
Yeah, it's...
So there's something else. Good. That's not good.
Alright.
Soup's almost ready. I just can't remember one last ingredient from my mom's recipe.
Oh, no worry. I'm so stuffed up I couldn't taste Sanders' boot if you stepped on my tongue.
What the?
Interesting. Is it possible it's her mom somehow reaching out to her?
Well, that threw that paprika down.
And
yes.
it was her mother's recipe.
Mm-hmm.
In the wrong hands, they could bring ruin to our home.
Wait, Dad. Dad!
Find the book?
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, Dallas.
It's just another dead end, man.
No, you haven't seen the book yet, I don't think.
Maybe not. That Bible. Right there. I recognize it.
What?
Wait, how's that?
The embossing. That embossing is so specific. I saw it in Bonnie's cave.
It's possible she happened upon something with that symbol and just collected it. Or Bonnie's not sharing as much as she knows.
And now I realize how much more it hurts to never get to hear what she feels at all.
Do you think that's Eduardo?
I'm hoping it is.
Yeah, because
But
I don't know if looking like someone means that you have their memories. So assuming, I mean, that could have been a completely fake story that Teska made up.
Which means your friend can't spread it, but someone else did. A virus like this would require close contact.
I am so mad. Bonnie kissed him. I am going to wring her neck. Bonnie kissed him.
That's how he got sick. And she's not sick, and he is?
Well, I
I guess.
Or we are being made to think Bonnie is nefarious, but really it's someone else, but they are setting this up. I liked her.
I think she kissed you. So she could disable your powers.
Okay, now I'm worried that he is going to go confront a woman who has been tasked with killing him. And who may have taken steps to do so.
And he has no powers.
And he has no powers.
It really makes me question Bonnie.
Yeah. I want Bonnie to be good. I'm not sure that she is.
You're sick? That's never happened before.
Hold up. You did it on purpose?
That's why it's called Kiss from a Rose. Now it makes sense.
Because I've been dreaming of home since I was a foster kid.
That is what Clyde preyed on. I know, because I was a lost kid too. I kissed you to save you from falling into the same trap as me.
Oh, you...
So that they couldn't use his power as puzzle glue?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But that means Michael would be part of Tesla's plan.
Yes.
And why
Did
would
she
Tesla tell her to kill someone who was part of her plan?
Because she knew she couldn't.
Okay.
You're leaving?
Yes. Dallas needs my help in
Please be honest with each other.
Roswell. I don't know, this got weird, right? And it doesn't have to get weird. It's
Come
good.
on.
So I'll see you back at home.
I am ready for Kyle to just... I know it's early. I'm ready for him to just be honest. It's been a long time.
Maybe he will.
Maybe he will. Come on, man.
You can't go.
Okay, come on.
But the longer I keep this inside, the harder it'll be to tell you the truth.
Okay, good. Come on.
Keep it inside.
And you're dressed like a Russian spy undercover at Coachella. But most of all, I am terrified that at any second you will jump into my mind and discover you are all I think about. And that you will realize I'm in love with you.
Okay, it's a lot to process. I understand.
Now I realize I'm even more afraid of never finding out at all.
What if I don't know what to say?
That's okay.
Wow, this is just, it's kind of a lot, you know?
It is.
The
That's
middle of
fair.
this breakup and...
Yes.
Trying to process.
Right, okay.
Of course.
I understand. So say you need more time. Say you're not ready. I've gotten really good at waiting. So ask me to wait.
No, I can't ask you to wait. Waiting implies expectations. I can't afford to lose you. Really.
Okay.
I'll see you back in Roswell, okay?
Yes. I think
It was okay.
yeah, I think that was fair. That I'm very glad that he went all out and told her. It makes all the sense in the world that was a lot to take in the day after she broke up with her girlfriend. And I liked that he then responded, the way that he did. I also understand why she responded the way she did. I want now for Kyle to give her that time. Without any expectation.
Expectations, correct. Yeah, don't push her.
Right.
Let's see what happens.
And I think that he feels deeply enough for her to do that.
Yay.
Okay. I feel okay about this. It's, this is the time that I wanted them to have. I wanted them to have this truth and this processing time. I feel okay about this. Okay.
Give me my powers back.
I can't. I'm sorry, there's no reversing it.
I mean, it's possible Liz can have some sciencey fix. That's possible. despite however believable I think Bonnie is at this point, I would believe that no one before now has been able to get their powers back. But I don't believe that it's impossible. So, come on, Liz.
It's her.
Oh, Liz can feel it.
Hello, Sheriff.
So not in Mexico, as Eduardo, which is good. And can someone please acknowledge that Alex has not called anyone back? Come on, I'm glad he was called. That's not enough. Oh!
Why must I do everything myself?
Max!
What is the lighting?
A lesson for another time, perhaps.
I'm guessing that's a real fire. Lizzie!
Because of the handprint. Good sense you needed some help. And since I know you've been running hot lately, I phoned a friend. I'll grab the fire extinguisher.
No,
Where'd she get that knife?
I think we might have just found a Terminator.
Okay. Okay. Why is this happening?
Cute, but no match for my superior genetics. Which is why I tipped that machete in Bonnie's virus.
Oh, Liz. Okay.
Then I added a chemical accelerant to speed things up a little bit.
Liz!
I've been studying your superior genetics. And judging by the fresh ink on your arms, I think we're about to meet what's really written in your DNA.
What she really looks like.
Your
Interesting.
theory was right.
Okay, so now Teska's mad, but also maybe ill?
Mother, it's just
But ill does not mean no powers, because the no powers thing is because of Bonnie.
Because of the kiss.
Right. Honestly, though, Bonnie, come on. Come on. Give her a kiss, Bonnie.
This is
That would solve a lot of problems, most likely.
But this is all Liz. Smart.
Yes.
Smart
Yes.
Liz.
Liz.
Yeah.
having the whole sheriff station to ourselves.
Did everyone else leave? Where did Bonnie go? She was going to come back in.
And where's Michael?
What is it?
I'm fine. Barely a mark on my skin.
No, it was anger that I was trying to avoid, but that wasn't anger, that was love.
Max, you've made the crash down lights flicker before. It's okay.
But that never burned you.
Why did that happen? Why did that happen?
He needs to learn more skills. I
Yeah,
think.
but I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think it's just a control issue.
Because our love is stronger than that. Our love is stronger than all of this. Bottle it up for national security, okay? Remember?
What if the strength of our love is what burns it down? I mean, these
What?
powers, these abilities, they're for the lighting. I need to be able to control them.
Okay, so then whatever the lighting is, we will face it together.
Will you stop saying that? I feel like you hope to just whisk all this away with some kind words. Positive thinking only works when there's something positive to hope for.
I'm concerned, but also glad that they're talking openly about it. So, okay.
I mean, we are trapped in this insane plan that Jones left behind.
Oh, you're getting fritzy, bud.
I'm just cold on the alien that I love her.
Oh, so it's Isabel.
No.
I could tell your all-nighters at Deep Sky weren't just about alien medicine. How about a Valenti road trip to take your mind off things?
To where? I mean, I'm really enjoying this uncle and nephew bonding time, but that seems to be like the symbol. What I thought Ailey was in Koreas. Is that not right?
Bronson let me borrow his book.
Who?
Bronson is Marie's great-grandfather.
Teska said my father put his faith in a human.
There may come a time when you don't remember this day, or any of the days that we spent together.
Explain.
The seeds we planted This book, in the wrong hands, they could bring you into our home, so I have to protect you.
What about the regular earthly Bible could cause harm to their planet? Curious.
I think that he's hidden something.
There's gotta, yeah.
In the Bible that can be opened.
Yeah. And why? What about the tree? If the tree is just their source of fuel to get home, that also does not harm Oasis. So there's also something more to that, I would think.
There's something more to the tree.
There's something more to everything, Mom.
Yeah. And the fruit.
It's like we start to figure things out, and then no, we don't. No.
Wait, did you see that?
What? You brilliant boy!
Key to code my dad's Bible.
And without my powers, those things get to keep going, which I think is what Bonnie wanted for you.
She does keep risking her life to save me.
Is that her? Where is she
You
been?
heard that too, right?
Is that an angry rat?
It's whoever showed you the paprika!
Wait a second. That poster is from the festival my mom and I went to every year. And this is the secret ingredient to the soup my mom always makes when I'm sick.
What are you saying?
I can't talk to my mom in my visions anymore, but maybe she's trying to find another way to communicate with me.
Yeah. Okay, so what Maria was able to read before, to pick up on before, she's still receiving, she just can't, it doesn't come across in the same way.
In real time.
She's still being reached out to the way she was before. She just couldn't, her ability to hear it or read it or see it stopped. But that information seems to still be coming in.
Tesca will come looking for you.
Pretty sure Liz bought us some time with that.
Is that Max's house?
You called me the savior. I'm asking you to save me.
No, you saw how sick I made Michael.
Oh, I can get over a flu. What I can't abide is losing the woman I love. You said you wanted to use your powers for good. Here's an opportunity.
Wow. But if she kisses him later, that does no good because Tesca is trying to use his powers specifically for her plan. But if those are not available...
And so much better for Liz. I thought it was he's doing it because of his love for Liz.
He doesn't, I mean, because right now he's afraid of, like, physically hurting her.
Right.
But also doesn't want Tesca to use him for his powers to do whatever the plan is. And at this point, I mean, maybe he thinks that Liz can reverse it, but he's making this decision in the probability that it is irreversible.
Well, okay. Michael?
Yeah.
And Max?
I know! Which are the two that you would think would be most... that Tesca would want the most. Okay. This isn't the last episode. So I don't think they're just gonna not have powers the rest of the season. I think they're gonna get them back.
That it's not lasting.
Right. So what does he do? Well, I think it worked. If she felt it right away. Is it complete? It's gone.
What did you do?
I'm gonna say good.
He really wanted to save himself from himself.
Yes. he did. And it appears that he has
done it.
I knew he would. I mean, I knew that, well, I mean, something could have come in to interrupt them, but I was like, he brought this up to her, like, having decided. Okay. Again, just gonna throw it out. Not enough Alex. I'm glad someone else called him. He was mentioned.
Enough time to. It's going to be mentioned again next episode.
When? But we keep thinking, is it the next episode? Is it like? Is it this week? Is it this week?
This episode, it was mentioned once. It will be now, since it has been. It'll be mentioned.
But we would. That's what we thought.
And maybe because of that, part of next episode will be, how do we find this boy in the sand?
Well, but seriously, like, okay, so they have acknowledged, because Michael was like, you know, you'd think he would, you know, check in. Yeah, you'd think. You'd think he would have checked in 3 days ago. But that has been acknowledged that, like, they're reaching out to him and he's not responding. I think we know how I feel about this. Mm-hmm. All right, so Max has no powers. Michael has no powers. Max is going to get sick. Maybe not for 24 hours, but he's going to get sick, which...
Except that Bonnie said when Michael became ill, she said that's never happened before.
True.
Like this side effect.
Yes, that she meant to take his powers. She did not mean to make him sick.
Correct. So there's still a theory of
question.
What really has made him sick.
I guess it'll depend on. I guess we'll know that if or not Max gets sick.
Becomes sick, right?
Which he sort of is. He's assuming that he's going to because he mentioned it. So if that is not a common side effect to her power, why would it happen now? Like, assuming Max also gets sick.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's gonna get sick though.
That would be more concerning. Because that means that something else caused it and we have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
I'm leaning toward that he will get sick, and then we just have to figure out why Bonnie's power now has a side effect. What is going to be Liz's reaction to what Max has done? She didn't seem pleased. I don't think she has realized yet what he did. But she knew, like her eyes popped open. She woke up. She felt it.
Right.
The handprint disappeared. The connection that she, like, the we can feel each other thing, that's gone. So, I think it's reasonable of her to think he's done something rash. Which, I mean, the stakes were really high, though. Like, Teska had some plan for him.
To explain to her.
Okay, so she goes outside.
Part of this puzzle, and I don't want to be part of this puzzle anymore.
Right. Okay, so Liz goes outside, sees Max. He says what he has just done. Liz says, what do you think her reaction is? And then she says, you're right, or she says, I wish you wouldn't have done that. Which one are you leaning more toward?
She's probably going to say, I wish you hadn't have done that. But she's also going to say, I'm glad you did it.
Yeah, I think her initial reaction will be, why did you do that? I mean, even after his explanation. And because I think she wanted to find a solution. He found a solution, technically. But she wanted to find another way of doing it. But this also kind of might work. And honestly, like, she'd love him just as much without the powers. So I'm not worried about that. And looking beyond this situation, I mean, they wanted their lives to be simpler. That's what they said. And I mean, it's too early in the season for this to be like, oh, well, Tessica gives up. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, wait till she finds out she can't.
But
she doesn't have her puzzle pieces.
Yeah, she's going to be pissed. So, which is dangerous. However, could she still try and use Liz for whatever she intended Liz for?
I was just going to ask.
I think, yeah. We just don't know what that is.
I think she needs both of them.
Maybe. So maybe she intends to use Max as puzzle glue, but in order to make that work, she needs Liz's science. Because maybe an alien scientist could have done the exact same thing, but not having one of those, she sees Liz as the next best thing, and it's just gonna make Liz do it.
But she's been told by Mr. Jones
that Liz is knowledgeable about alien science. Could he have used the Lockhart machine? Because I had kind of been assuming he used it like to send one message to 3 people. But could he have individualized the message that each of them got? I mean, I guess he could have. I think Tessica did say at one point that the original plan assumed that Jones would be alive, like when they caught up with him. And that now that he's dead, I think Tessica may be doing mostly what Jones told her, but maybe also putting her own spin on it. I don't think that Jones is continuing to give her information, though. I think he may have given her more than he gave to Bonnie and Clyde, but I think he is dead.
Okay.
But
that's your opinion.
What was the thing that Tessica did with the blood on his chest? Why did she do that? Like, what was the purpose of whatever that was? Why burn him after whatever the blood ritual thing was? Like, whatever that was. Why take his body at all?
See, that's why I think he's not dead.
Okay. I'm a little surprised we still haven't seen Allie yet. I thought she would have popped in by now. It seems Eduardo is Eduardo, but I would have liked to have someone have a line somewhere mention we also injected Eduardo. We found him. He's okay. We fixed his eyes.
How did he get to be okay?
I mean, you only have so much time per episode. Still, you could have one line. I'm going to take it as a good sign that Isabel brought that flower home with her. Isabel should also feel something is different. She should also feel the loss of connection to Max. Max and Isabel have always had a very close connection. Like, they've felt each other before. So, I'm wondering if Isabel's going to show up like, what did you do? Okay, so where are Theo's glasses? How do we find those? Are they in Bonnie's Little Mermaid cave somewhere?
Are they, does it have to be his glasses or can they be anybody's glasses?
Oh, I think they're specifically those glasses. Bonnie took me on a roller coaster this episode. She really did. And I feel like we're still on it. But, to be fair to me, I said, hey, maybe maybe it's not as bad as it seems. I hope it is what it looks like now. But, Bonnie. Tessica's gonna be mad. What is she gonna do? Okay, it seems
because
like one she can.
I mean, the big part of the plan is
which we don't totally know.
Non-functional.
Correct. So what we then assumed Liz's part in that was also, if seems she can't use Liz anymore, assuming that Liz was supposed to make the puzzle glue work or whatever. I don't know. Also, they don't have a spaceship. Is one coming? I think what we will get an answer to is how Theo puts Dallas back in his pod, puts him in a lake, and then somehow ends up in Caulfield. Also, why wouldn't Theo be with Nora and Louise? Like, is he assuming they're dead? As they probably assume he is dead? And then also, so the regenerative gunk that she has at the end there with her other scientist lady, what is that exactly? Where did she get that? That was, because we have the alien virus, which is not gonna help her daughter. We have Bonnie's, well, no, but that's what Liz says, that she had like spread on the machete Bonnie's something. Like, is it the virus?
Liz took samples of Bonnie's saliva, I'm going to say, to test it.
But that would take away Tesla's powers, and I don't think that has happened. I think she's going to get sick, maybe? She'll have the virus part, but I don't think Tesca has lost her powers. I'm feeling good about Kyle and Isabel. Not feeling good about Alex. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to say about Alex, it's not just they barely mentioned him of like, I call it like, I left a voicemail. Tesca has not mentioned him at all. So what do we think is going to happen in the next episode? So I think everyone is going to find out that Max does not have powers, and I think that includes Tesca.
I would like to see something happen with Alex. Something more happen.
And I'm thinking, because I was just thinking, okay, so there's the fallout from Max's decision. How can that relate to where Alex is, what Alex is being used for? I mean, is he like her hostage now, like a bargaining chip? Like, oh, you do this for me or I'm not giving you Alex back? Like, does he become used for that?
That's what I thought in the beginning that he was being used for, as a bargaining chip.
And that would make sense. That would definitely make sense. If they know who Alex is and he's not just, to them, a random human. But that also, I wouldn't be completely satisfied with that, because then there's no story reason, there's no like plot line, story arc reason for him to be gone so long. Like, you could have kidnapped him and said, like, he could have been here the whole time, and kidnapped now, and then been like, I'm not giving him back until you restore Max's powers or whatever. She could tell Liz that. Like, that could be how it is used, but I don't want him to be gone for so long and then it's just, he's my hostage. Oh, and the stuff going on with Maria. What was the poster that fell off the wall? Some festival? Oh yes, I think so.
They went to it together.
So where is that going to go next? And how is it connected to what everything else that's going on?
Kind of helps put some things together.
It's definitely possible that at some point Liz gets kidnapped. Like, that's definitely possible. That also depends, I guess, on if she's even useful now that Tesca doesn't have access to Max's powers. So I'm definitely looking forward to next week. I'm very interested to see the reactions and the consequences. And come on, Alex.